Hello everyone, what's going on? I've got a game for you guys, and this one is an underused match, as we call it here on my channel, and it's against a guy by the name of Salad Mince, because that's a cool name for a Salamence. Salad Mince. Yes, okay, enough of the stupidness, let's get into the game. I just kind of threw some guys together, and that's generally what I do, but I thought, hey, I'll try Scarf Machamp, because it's a cool thing. I want a mixed Victini, a different mixed Victini than I've been using before, which is a workup set, so I wanted to try that out, and another few things, so we'll just go with them and see how it works. So, lead off with Machamp, and I'm thinking, okay, if he's a Sash Weavile, then I can go for Dynamic Punch, take him down to his Sash, and then he may confuse himself and hit himself in confusion, but he's a fake out Life Orb Weavile, so he doesn't know I'm Scarfed from the beginning, and he still doesn't know I'm Scarfed because he's going to switch out into Crobat to resist the obvious Dynamic Punch. Now, I could have gone for the Stone Edge instead of the Dynamic Punch, and that really would have been the smarter play to go for it at the start of the game, but I just wanted to confuse something, and I mean, confusing the Crobat is a good thing anyway, because it lends me a little bit of advantage on the switch out. It means he has the potential to hit himself instead of me taking damage as I come in, and that's exactly what happens, because he does hit himself in confusion as Bronzong switches. So, I decide that he's probably not going to want to stay in. Bronzong is too bulky for him to deal with, and so he's going to go out into his Weavile here, and I thought, let's just trick the Scarf onto something. And Weavile's the thing that comes in, gets tricked. I get a Life Orb in the process, and now he's going to have to lock himself into one move, and he's not going to be able to fake out. And he decides to go for the Beat Up, which is a move that I generally don't see that often, but it makes a lot of sense on lead Weavile, simply because you have all your party members intact. And the way Beat Up works is it does one hit for every Pokemon left in your team, and he still has 6 guys left, which allows him to get 6 hits off. So that works. At this point, Bronzong's really kind of sacrificial. He gets a little bit of an annoying crit there with one of the beat-ups, but it's expected to happen when he's hit me 12 times so far, so a crit's going to happen there once along the way, at least, if not more. And I get the Stealth Rocks up, obviously, but now I can kill him with a Gyro Ball, and I guess wait for him to bring something in to kill Bronzong with, because it's pretty much at death's door at this point, and not really much use in saving it. And he goes into Crobat, which I wouldn't say was the best idea, because he's going to take Stealth Rock damage upon switching this thing in, and then he's going to kill me with U-turn, which means he's going to take more Stealth Rock damage when he comes back in again. So unless he has Roost, it didn't seem like the best idea. I would have gone to something else which potentially didn't have Stealth Rock weakness to finish me off with, but live and learn, I guess. And that he does. He goes into his Heracross, which most likely I thought was Scarfed. So what I decided to do is that I decided to go into my Victini and try and bluff my own Scarf, because obviously if I'm Scarfed, I'll be faster than his Scarf Heracross, and so we'll be able to kill him with a V-Create. So, that doesn't happen, because he stays in and goes for the Stone Edge, and I go for the Fusion Bolt, predicting Arcanine, because I thought with him having Arcanine, there's the chance it has Flash Fire, therefore there's the chance that he switches in to take the V-Create, therefore I go for the Fusion Bolt instead, and it doesn't work out because Fusion Bolt doesn't kill Heracross, and my bluffing with my potential so-called Scarf doesn't happen because I'm actually Life Orb mixed. So that kind of sucks. I go into Machamp to try and take a Stone Edge, and I get crit on the switch in, which actually is kind of significant. Like, it just makes things a lot more difficult for me to deal with, because Machamp is something that likes to have a lot of health, and it's bulky, and it's good when it's at high HP. Getting crit doesn't favour it whatsoever. So I decide I'm going to go with Stone Edge this time. If he decides to stay in with Heracross, not really too worried, because I think a Stone Edge will take it out from that range, and if he goes to Crobat, it's going to die anyway, and I'm not going to miss, obviously, because I have no guard still intact. So, he goes into his Ditto, which is obviously going to be Scarfed as well, and he transforms into myself, and now that I am locked into Stone Edge, I do not want to be staying in against another Machamp. So, I predict the Dynamic Punch, go into Chandelure, and unfortunately for me, he goes for the T-Punch, and I'm thinking, please don't get paralyzed. I don't, and it doesn't actually do as much damage as I expected it to, so that's, I guess, a little bit of a turn up for the books. But I'm thinking he's just going to want to stay in and go for another one, so because I thought, he's got a good momentum with the T-Punch going, he might as well stay in, I go into Raikou, not thinking that, staying in with his Machamp wasn't the best idea, because there was the potential I was Specs and Fire Fire Blast could have roasted him, but I didn't. I could have set up a sub there with Chandelure, been able to Fire Blast the Zoroark and get rid of that, but no. I decided to go into Raikou, and, well, now we have Raikou versus Zoroark, which is an okay matchup. It's not fantastic, but I'll deal with it. I'm pretty sure I won't be able to kill him in one hit with a Thunderbolt, so I sub on the off chance that he switches and he stays in, goes to the Foul Play, which apparently uses my attack stat to determine how much damage it does or something. I'm not really sure how Foul Play works, but because I'm specially offensive, of course, as most Raikous tend to be, I don't think it would do that much damage, but it is enough to break a sub, so that's kind of annoying. Another annoying thing is, had I set up a sub here, I think I might have been able to live the U-turn with the sub and had a free sub. I'm not quite sure, actually. Looking back on that damage, maybe I wouldn't have been able to keep a sub up, but at least I have Raikou still alive, and you know, I managed to deal a heavy amount to Zoroark. It's probably going to take lots, well, it's not going to die from Stealth Rock switching, but it's going to come very close to death, where a priority move or something will be able to finish it off. So at this point, I see Scarf Heracross, and I'm thinking some Scarf Heracross carry Earthquake, so it may be a good idea to go into Mantike to dodge it. Unfortunately, he doesn't go for the Earthquake, he goes for the Shadow Claw, but the good thing about him going for Shadow Claw is it's unstabbed, it's not very powerful, and it's neutral against Mantike, plus I have Eviolite to buff my pretty meager defense, allowing me to live 2 Shadow Claws, not be hit by a crit, which usually happens with Shadow Claw, but fortunately enough I managed to dodge one of those, and kill him with a Scald. So that's pretty nice, I'm pleased with it. And he goes into Arcanine. Now Arcanine obviously has Wild Charge, and I don't have anything I want to go to at this point. A lot of my guys are weakened, either from the crit on Machamp, or from the misprediction with the Victini, or the... I mean, not really, it wasn't a misprediction with the Victini, it was just me kind of being a bit ballsy and not paying off whatsoever. So I go into Chandelure thinking he'll probably have Extreme Speed, plus Close Combat, plus Flare Blitz. None of those moves can hit me, and the only move that can hit me, potentially, is Wild Charge, and I don't think that from that amount of HP, Chandelure will die from a Wild Charge. I don't. I live with 33 HP, I'm able to take out the Arcanine with a Shadow Ball, and things are looking up. The only thing I'm a little bit worried about is the fact that he still has Scarf Ditto, and if he manages to transform into either Chandelure or into my Raikou, I might be a little bit screwed because I don't really have anything to outspeed it once it has one of these guys scarfed. I have Scarf Machamp, but Scarf Machamp is obviously going to be slower than either Scarf Chandelure or Scarf Raikou. So, I feel a little bit in a bad situation, but the thing that I do know about Ditto when it switches in is it only gets 5 PP per move, which means that he's locked in on Shadow Ball, and he's used up 1 PP. So, I go into Raikou knowing that with pressure, he's going to use up at least 2 PP on my hit here. If he kills me, that's 2 PP, and if he doesn't, it's going to be another 2 after this. So, he only has the opportunity to go for 1 more Shadow Ball, after which I can switch in something else, and he'll either have to struggle himself to death, or he'll have to switch out. And I'm not quite sure what's going to happen there, because I'm not quite sure if he's paying attention to that being the case, because at this point, when he kills me off with a Shadow Ball, he doesn't realise, I think, that he's used up 2 PP as opposed to 1. And what happens instead, he goes for the struggle, and the reason I thought that, you know, I thought, why is he doing this? Why didn't he just switch out? Because he could have switched out and probably saved himself the game had he, you know, gone into Zoroark's Death Fodder and then come back in with Ditto transformed into Victini, or whatever, and being able to sweep through the rest of my guys. But the thing you have to remember, of course, is that if you click attack on the DS, even if you're out of PP, it'll just automatically say that you're attacking with struggle. You don't get the chance to think about it. So he probably thought, oh, I still have a Shadow Ball PP left, I'm going to hit attack, and he fell into the trap, of course, because all his PP was gone. He wasn't able to finish off my Victini because he had to struggle. It was a crit struggle, didn't kill me even, but I was able to finish off his last 2 guys with Victini, and that was the game. So I guess a little bit of a lesson to people that you should always pay attention when pressure is around, and especially when you're using Ditto, because you do have that limit to 5 PP every time you switch in, and so it can get a little bit difficult. definitely to remember those things. But fortunately, it worked out in my favor in the end, and I was able to pull it out. But only just, only just. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. It was relatively interesting, just because that last play there was something that doesn't often happen. But yes, if you did enjoy, please leave a like on the video. That would help me immensely. I would appreciate it, and may help others find videos like these. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.